So this is Stardeus, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that this is probably the most in-depth management sort of colony sim style game that is set on a spaceship that I've ever played. I'm Orbital Potato. Let's jump into things and see what we have got going on. The premise is quite simple. This is my ship, or at least what is left of it, and what we need to do in this specific scenario is try and rebuild this ship to some sort of matter of its former glory. It's going to take a fair bit of work, but I think we've got it in us. Now, as we do so, I should point out that this video has been sponsored by the publishers Paradox Arc, so thank you ever so much. Check out the link to the game down in the description below. We are checking out the brand new Hyperspace update, which adds a whole bunch of stuff specifically with space travel, but there's a whole bunch of brand new updates to the game as part of this big update. You can check it all out linked down in the description below. So, I appreciate that there is quite a lot going on right now, but that's okay because I'm going to break down exactly what's happening and what we have to do in order to survive and thrive. Fundamentally, everything in this ship is going to stem from the ship computer. At the moment, it is 100% undamaged, which is a good thing because otherwise we would be in trouble. However, we also have three little friends here, three robot friends that we can use to hopefully, very hopefully, rebuild some access that we have in this ship. There are also somewhere, over here, yeah, there's a, what is that, a dog called Dexter who's just gone into his crate over there, and then there's Pear and Abdil, who we've got, who are humans, and they are surviving in another part of the ship that we currently don't have access to. So rescuing them and getting this area, you know, sort of cleaned up and ready to rock and roll would be pretty darned good. We're going to need quite a few bits of kit in order to make that happen. As I say, everything stems from the ship computer. That is the most important building that we have. I think early stage, we should probably restore electricity to this room. We should probably try and get ourselves a little bit more of a sort of secure supply so that we can make sure that all of these drones have got plenty of charge and make sure that they are all happy and healthy and ready to continue. So why don't we look at doing that? Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can go about it, and in fact, very helpfully, the game has offered me a quest. This is a quest to provide a charge station, which is exactly what I'm going to do. We've got some rewards here. We've got money, and we've got basic datoids. We'll talk exactly about what datoids mean. But we need to build an energy connector, and that's great, because that is exactly what I was going to do anyway. So, let's go into the build menu, and we'll immediately start building a connector. Now, a connector is one of the most important electrical components that we can possibly build in this game. Let's unpause and let my robots sort of get to it. Electricity is, I don't want to say the most important facet of this game, but it's certainly up there as very, very important indeed. And you'll see exactly what I mean in just a second, because everything sort of stems from the electrical connections that we are about to make. Let's get this built. There we go. Rex Alpha has delivered all of the components, and Burn Kurtz is going to do the building. We get it built, and that is great. So this is the connector. This is the, I guess, basic electrical distribution system that we have on this vessel. And what we can actually do is we can connect up, which is exactly what I want to do. We can connect up the electricity connector to the ship, and then from there we can go about connecting up to all of the different sources that don't currently have electricity, which is grand. Now, that should, I hope anyway, at least give us a little bit of confidence that that we should have, I hope, a little bit of light in this room, because this is a floor, a lit floor, so that should happen at least. If I unpause, there we go. What's going to happen? Haha! Look at that. Finally, we've got a little bit of light in this room, which is great. Now, we have got some objectives here. Let's see if we can try and work through them. We need to build and connect a charge station, and we need to build and connect a matter reactor. I don't think it takes a genius to work out exactly what the value in having both of these components actually is. A matter reactor is going to give us a way to generate power from matter, and actually from any matter. It's quite interesting the way that it works. We'll also just get a charge station. We'll get that set up, and we'll build that down over here. Sure. So let's get those both set up, and then let's see where that leaves us. Right, everything is connected and built, which is nice. The matter reactor, yeah, very interesting bit of kit, and super useful, at least early on, because what we can do, we can actually configure this bad boy to basically take any type of fuel. For example, steel plate. You can burn steel plate, which is exactly what I am going to do. Hurrah, we've completed the quest. That is great. Happy days. But yeah, we're effectively going to now order the steel plate to be put into the matter reactor, and that's going to be turned into energy, which is great. Very, very happy with that. We got a battery, which is fantastic, and the battery should, I hope anyway, start to replenish its stocks now that we've got a matter reactor, which outputs 20 kilowatts, which is very cool indeed. Right, let's check out the next quest, see what we have got going on. We have got the opportunity to establish research, which I am quite interested in doing. Let's pick that one up. Boom. Research consumes datoids. Yep, we'll deal with that in just a sec. That is fine. Right, so our specific objectives: build a datoid loader, and build and connect a build a basic data harvester. Cool, let's do that. Okay, so everything is built. We've got the data harvester here. We've got the datoid loader, and I've also built a brand new connector which will allow us to get things up and running. The datoid loader is going to take datoids. Now, datoids are super important for research, and what I want to do is I want to jump into the research tech tree. You can see it's fairly extensive here. I mean, we've got tier 1 all the way up to tier 6 sort of stuff, and each and every tech that we look at and explore, for example, I mean, this is already unlocked, but if we wanted to have a little look at the winch, for example, we can see exactly what we need in order to do that. We need 5 basic datoids. Datoids are just what we need to load into the system in order to conduct the research. We also need to be super, super aware of the fact that there is a limited amount of disk space that we have. The winch, for example, is going to take 3 disk space, and we need to make sure that that disk space is available in perpetuity, because it's, you know, we're remembering how to do the research, so to speak. So at the moment, we are using 60 out of 64 disk space. We will probably want to see if we can try and get that fixed. But yeah, pretty extensive tech tree. You know, solar panels, that stuff's going to be pretty useful. A trade portal, the stock market, availability or access to the stock market, stock trading, stock market insights, nuclear reactor. I mean, come on, there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff here. So, getting the basic data harvester set up is pretty darn easy. We just need to jump into the configuration panel here, and we need to select basic datoid. We're going to say produce. How many do I want to produce? I think I want to have... Yeah, I mean, I want to have 13. That's fine. Target global inventory. We'll leave that on. We'll just let that sort of chug away and see where that gets us. What's our last objective for the quests here? Produce a basic datoid? Well, I think we're going to be able to do that in absolutely no time whatsoever. I think we should be just fine to get that done. And there we go. Look at that. It's happening. Just like that. Marvelous. Okay, I do like the way that the game sort of runs you through some available quests. I think this is a great way of going about doing things. There's nothing necessarily stopping us from doing other stuff, but I like the fact that we have some objectives here. Right, 2 quests that we have available to us right now. Connect to the survivor area, which is over here. That's not a million miles away, definitely possible. Establish production as well. We're going to take them both. Why not? We're going to take them both. Connect to the survivor area, build a chain of connectors, build and connect enough connectors to reach the floor socket in the survivor area. Okay, that's fine. And establish production, we'll do that too. Build and connect a crafting station. Right, that is fine. So yeah, we need to build connectors all the way across to here. So it's not a super large journey. But we do need to keep in mind that this area is oxygenated. This area is not oxygenated. Also, oxygen is getting out of these doors, so it's pretty important that we try and move. I say fast. Fast is maybe not the right word, but we will we'll at least try and make some headway. The good news is, I think we can get away with just a single electricity connector. Let's do it. Let's get that built there and see where that takes us. Our battery is at full power here, which is really, really nice. Things are feeling groovy. What have they got? So they've got a matter reactor over here. We've got an oxygen pump. There is a heater to keep them warm. And there's a floor socket, which is just chilling on the ground. Are we going to be able to reach that floor socket? We absolutely will be. So we're going to be able to link our 2 electricity grids together, which is going to be pretty darn huge. Now, the other thing that we need to do is a crafting station. Do I want this? Thank you. Do I want this to be in the survivor area, or do I want this to be in... what did I need to be? Oh, crafting station, not assembly. There we go. A semi-automated crafting station that requires a human operator. Well, that kind of answers that question. Do I want this to be in the human area, or do I want it to be in the robot area? I think I want it to be in the robot area. Nice. Okay, so going back to the oxygen situation, yeah, air. We've got a lot of overlays that I'm going to sort of flip through. This is the air tightness overlay. As you can see, nothing is airtight at the present moment because oxygen is slipping out of that hole. That is a window, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we need to connect that. We need to connect that door to the electricity grid basically as soon as we possibly can. Let's see if we can try and make this happen. Right, so get that linked up over there. Link that door up. That's very important. And then link up to the grid over here. And just like that, we are now connected to the survivor area. That is pretty darn amazing. And not to mention the fact that we should have secured... Aha. Yeah, so it is a window, but it is broken. That's the problem. It needs to be repaired. Let's get that repaired so that we can fully air tighten this survivor room, which means that we can have it fully oxygenated, which is going to be very, very important indeed. I also probably want to turn on some more lights in this vicinity. So let's have a little look. I mean, can we get a floor? We can't get any floor connectors because we apparently haven't researched it. This floor socket. Yeah, we haven't researched it. Let's have a little look in the research tech tree. I want to see where the floor socket is. So the floor connector is over here. It's a tier 2. It's a tier 2 item. That being said, we do have the ability to unlock an improved connector. Wireless electricity connector with 16 sockets. I'm going to unlock that right now just to get some research under our belt. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Because we can probably look to get a couple of those in here and maybe just sort of restore a little bit of life to the facility. Hey, look at that. Okay, we've not connected everything up quite yet. I mean, but it's a pretty good start. I've sort of prioritized getting the lights in this area up and running, so at least we've got sort of a decent area of habitation for our human colonists, which is quite nice. I've also connected up the crafting station. What's our objective for the crafting station? Start producing gears? Okay, we can start producing gears. Give the humans something to do. Make them feel like they are... there we go. Get that assembled. Sure, wanted amount. We'll leave that as is. We just literally require steel plates. And it looks like the humans... Oh, look at that. Dexter the dog is actually going to be bringing some of the steel plates that are around into place, which is quite nice. Can I get... That light is just ever so, unfortunately, out of range. But that's not necessarily the end of the world. Man, this is looking good. This is looking good, honestly. This is feeling nice. Right, what else do I need to do? Produce gears, assembler, crafting station, we've done that. We've got a few additional missions. Connect to the stasis array. So, the stasis array is... The stasis array is another, I think it's this here. Yeah, this is it. This is the stasis array. In fact, there's multiple stasis arrays around here. These are, as I understand, these are habitation pods for, yeah, these are habitation pods for colonists. They are in cryosleep at the present moment, so that is nice. What are our other quests? Let's have a little look. Dispose of infected bodies. There's probably quite a lot of bodies. In fact, there are a lot of bodies. We can see them all littered over the map. That's fine. And provide hygiene facilities. We will do all of that, and we're going to get a whole bunch of rewards as a consequence. What's the order of operations that we want to do things in? I mean, connecting to the status arrays. Connect to the status arrays, optional unlock the winch. The winch is a pretty cool bit of kit, and actually we're going to do this even though it is optional. Ensure a path to the status arrays, build a chain of connectors. I mean, we could probably do that right now. We might have to encase it, but that's fine. Hygiene is probably pretty easy for us to build. We need to unlock a shower. In fact, we've already got a shower. That's great. Let's get that built. Let's get that built just over there, and we'll build a toilet as well. Build it right next door. Very cool. And the infected bodies, Build and connect a nutrient extractor. Do we have a nutrient extractor? We absolutely do. I mean, it's going to be a bit gnarly what we're going to do to these poor bodies, but we're going to do it nonetheless. Right. Let's build that a little bit out of harm's way, and we'll see where that gets us. Hygiene facilities have been completed. That is great. There's now a shower, a toilet, which is amazing. We've also established production by building the gears. Very, very happy with that. What else do we have? Provide entertainment, makeshift flight ready, provide a repair station. I'll take them all on board. We'll go through them in turn. But for now... Oh, this is an easy one. This is an easy one. Provide entertainment, a treadmill. I'll get a treadmill. I really want to make sure everything is in this vicinity for the colonists because of the heat. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to work out that the only place that is actually habitable for these colonists is near this heater. It is actually the heater, much more so, I think, than the oxygen, which is limiting us. I mean, the oxygen is good. The air tightness is... The air tightness is fine. It says it's 5%. Why is it 5%? Is it maybe because of this hole right here? I mean, we could try and fix that. Why don't we try and fix it? Why don't we try and fix it? See if that makes a difference. Floor is fairly easy. We build floor. Right. See if that improves the air tightness. Although I think I feel like it should be airtight. Maybe it's because we're constantly sort of coming in and out of this this door over here. But that's fine. The treadmill is going to get built really quickly. That's fine. The bed, there's a bed over there. It's too safe because it's too cold. Let's move the beds. Is there another bed around by any chance? No. But I would like to build another bed if we've got one. Sure, build 2 beds right next to the heater, and hopefully that will mean that my colonists are at least a little bit happier. They seem fine, though. Their body's healthy. They don't have an assigned bed. Sanity's at 100%. They've got a fairly large number of jobs that we can possibly assign, but that's okay. We'll deal with that in due course. Right, what do we want to get through now? Providing a repair station is pretty darn easy, actually. Performs robot and drone maintenance and repairs any damage. Would make sense if we put this in the sort of the area that we have drones. I also probably want to like just try and rebuild a little bit of the sort of physical world that we have here. The reason for that is that we are going to need to get this little robot across. I mean, we don't need to get the little robot across, but I'd quite like to at least make an attempt of rebuilding some of this. However, you see this big old area over here and this area down here. There's something very interesting that I'm going to attempt with these big areas. Let's see if we can go into the research tree, and we're going to try and research the winch, which is quite interesting indeed. Now, what do we need in order to get this done? Aha, we don't have enough disk space. We require 3 disk space. We've only got 63 out of 64. Let's see if we can try and build another disk module. Now, this is what we need in order to make everything work. And we're going to put this in this sort of central computer room. We actually already have a couple of other disk modules probably dotted around. So, for example, up here, I'm going to relocate you into the computer room as well. Not like it particularly matters, but I'm going to do so. Let's get you relocated over here, and we'll actually get ourselves some solar power connected up quite nicely. Ooh, you're dead. Lots of dead robots. Unfortunately, not much we can do about that, but that's okay. Right, get this built. You're connected up with 8. You're not connected up with 8. We'll get that disk module connected and online right now. Boom, that frees up a whole bunch of extra storage space, zettabytes or zetobytes or whatever the heck they're called. And let's nab the winch. This is going to give us 2 bits of kit. Very interesting. A winch anchor and a winch hook. Okay, this is where things start to get very interesting indeed. So, if I build a winch anchor over here, and a winch anchor over here. Yep, that's good. I would also like to start the process of deconstructing this. Yeah, deconstruct all of this. Deconstruct all of that. Cancel. Yeah, you want me to not deconstruct this, which is totally fair. I guess I'll relocate it up here, and then we will get the solar panel sort of connected up to the grid, which is going to be pretty important. And actually, if I jump into electrical, I should probably nab another connector, just so that the connector can be connected up to the solar panels. Right, increase electricity production is a little quest. We are not in a great electrical position. If we check out the electrical overlay, you can see that we have sort of potential production here, or max energy consumption, max production, energy consumption, max production, battery charge level, battery reserve level. So, I mean, we're still fine in terms of production. Our grids are, you know, straining. If we had to connect up more stuff, for example, this nutrient extractor, which I am actually going to connect up and start the process of getting nutrients extracted from all of the different corpses that we've got around here. But if I get that up and running, then that's probably going to put a little bit of a different strain, or a little bit of an additional strain on the system, which is fine. But either way, we'll start the process of deconstructing this, and then we will see where the wind takes us with regards to winching, which I'm very excited about. Let's also get this repair station connected up. Don't know why I didn't do that. It's fine, though. I mean, our robots are doing an absolutely grand job, and to be honest, everything is healthy. The interesting thing about robots is that they've got a sort of complete breakdown. You can actually change out their arms, install different arms, that sort of stuff, which I absolutely dig. But all my robots are totally fine. The good news is, our demolition of this area has gone completely fine. I want to deconstruct just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I also want to connect up the solar panels so that we now have just a little bit more power, which is totally fine. Increase electricity production. I think we're going to build another matter reactor. I think that is what we need to build. Go in here, get a matter reactor, pop that right over yonder, and we'll just get that connected up to the grid, and we'll just start burning steel plates, because, I mean, we got tons and tons of steel plates, which is what matters. Now, the other thing that I want to get done is build a winch hook, and I'm going to build that right over here, for reasons which will become clear in just a second. Aha! The disposal of infected bodies. I did select a few. We are making progress in that regard. I'm going to just sort of select as many as I can and just do dispose. I don't actually think that we need... I don't think that we need any of them at the moment. You can see, by the way, that humans, much like robots, have got a configuration. There are going to be the opportunities to perhaps remove, you know, different bits and bobs. For example, the liver and the heart and stuff like that. That's making me sick just actually thinking about it, but we don't have to worry about that right now. For now, we'll just sort of throw the bodies into the nutrient extractor and extract the nutrients, which is grand. Oh, and apparently I haven't done the treadmill quest. There we go. That's a nice, easy one to check off, which is very cool. Right, this is where things start getting fun. This is the winch. The winch is going to allow us to pull resources to us in a very interesting fashion. All we need to do is build winch anchors on sort of whatever component of the ship that we currently aren't directly connected to, and then we can just kind of make it work. So what I want to do here is I think I actually want to winch in this first. This bit over here. That's my plan. So we're going to go to reel in, and we are going to connect... We're going to connect up... We're going to reel in this bit first, and we're going to see what that actually does for us. Oh, look at that! Look at that! So we were able to winch... We're able to winch that into us. It actually collected all the resources in a very, very nice fashion. Now, we've not moved any further forward because it's now connected up to the ship down here. But we can actually winch in this ship over here. Ah, we can't because it's already melded together. Well, that's not necessarily a problem. I'm not too bothered about that. I'm content just to sort of like connect this infrastructure up together. I think we're going to do that. Let's get some floors. Let's get some floors Yeah, we'll deal with that in just a second. Let's get some floors up and running between here. And there we go. There we go. Nice. And we'll get some walls as well. We need to build floor first. We need to build floor first. Okay, I think it's time that we turn our attention to the Stasis array. This is dangerously unstable. Colonists will wake up with severe physical and mental damage. Well, we do not want that to happen at all. So let's get that connected up like so. Let's get that connected up like so. What about you over here? Are you... You're not quite within range of that connector. Let's build another connector over here then. Just a basic one is fine. Is that all the Stasis arrays that we have? It is. We've connected to the Stasis array. That fulfills a quest, which is great. We need to pressurize the Stasis array. That's going to be slightly more challenging because there is a lot of stuff that we need to rebuild here. But actually not necessarily overly challenging because we're kind of already there. Like, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting. Now that everything is sort of coming together, this is an outside component, which we need to be very careful with. But we do need to sort of, like, rebuild this as best as we possibly can. And it's not going to be pretty. It's just going to be functional. That's what we care about, at least for now. Rebuild that, rebuild that. Just get it all rebuilt. Even if it takes a while, we can at least sort of queue things up and get it redone. The connector should be built here. Obviously, it is still dangerously unstable. But that's fine. Get this constructed. Task priority 3. I mean, I'm going to increase for... yeah, high priority building, please. There we go. Get you connected up, and you connected up. Brilliant. So, it should stabilize at least a little bit. It's going to consume electricity to quite a large degree, and if I was to jump into my, electrical production, you would see that we were, we're starting to have some problems. Or at least, we will start to have some problems if I don't take preventative action to build another matter reactor, but it's okay because I'm very well on top of that. We just need to wait for a robot to get it built. I'm also now in a position where I can start looking at walls over here and walls all the way out over here, with the exception of that little bit over there. So we could sort of pressurize this area now. We're soon going to be able to pressurize this area, and then we will have the sort of the basic sort of functioning ship type layout that honestly we kind of need in order to, get this thing back on the road, or back on the space lanes, I suppose. Right, I've taken 2 additional quests. Establish food production, pressurize the Stasis array. We're already kind of working towards that. But what's the food production? Food production is money, tech datoids, photo datoids, okay. What do we need? A cooking station. Well, in fact, we might already have that, ready. If I build that, I mean, here probably? Sure. We'll roll with that. We'll wait until that gets built up. Also, have a little look at research. There is atmosphere control over here, which is going to give us an airlock. I think that's going to improve the airtightness of this room. I mean, just generally improving the airtightness of, well, everywhere is going to be useful. But it's something that we want to get sorted. Do I want to bring light to this side of the ship? I could, but I don't really care about it. I mean, it's useful for resources at the moment, but not much else. And actually, I will relocate you into this room here so that we can connect up some more data storage for some additional research. That is going to come in handy. Yeah, so this is what we need. We need an airlock. We need an airlock like that over here, as opposed to just an internal door. Although, I mean, if we have this entire area sort of pressurized, then that would be good. I'm going to need to repair a lot of these walls, yeah, because at the moment, air tightness isn't even, it's not even close to being measured yet. It's very, very not airtight. But I think we can do it, I think we can absolutely do it. Oh, I also need to make the ship flight ready. Bridge controls will give us access to the star map. I mean, I can build the bridge controls right now. Let's put the bridge controls right up at the front of the... Fine. right up at the front of the ship because it just feels right. And we'll wait for that to get done, I think. Ooh, look at that. Some protein, leather, and some stem cells made from deconstructing all of the human bodies and turning them into... Yeah, components. It's pretty awful. But hey, it's just business, I'm afraid. It's just business. Right, we're also cooking survival meals now, which is quite nice. Apparently that can be done by robots. Okay, that's cool. We need to produce... I don't even know how many we need to produce in order to satisfy the requirement. We need to produce 10, and it's produced with protein and water. Just don't look too closely at where we're going to be getting the protein from. That's, or the water, I guess. Not exactly something that we want to be thinking about, but it is going to be from the dead colonists. That's fine. Now, how are we getting on making this area airtight? Not too bad. Not too bad. This is all looking good. It's not there yet. Some repairs need to be done on the walls, which I will get done right now. But for a first sort of glance, it's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. We'll just queue everything up, get that all repaired. Don't need to repair that, although we will later. That's all getting built. You know what I think? I think that's all we need to repair. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. And just like that, we've managed to do it. We are fully pressurized, and we've established food production, which is great. Make stasis area survivable. Gosh, video game, you just keep throwing harder and harder things at me. Yeah, it's not a great vibe, but it's a vibe nonetheless. And in fact, if we could get an airlock, I would be very, very happy indeed. The good news is, though, is that we can now start opening this area up and allowing oxygen in here, and sort of seeing what happens. Yeah, should I try and unlock an airlock? I think we can unlock an airlock because I think, yeah, the previous quest allowed me to get that 5th tech datoid, which is exactly what we need. Let's do it, and let's see if we can try and... I mean, it's probably this door, right, that needs to become an airlock. Get that door deconstructed, and we'll put an airlock in its place. Very interesting indeed. A choice just popped up. I get to make a choice as to who is going to wake up. Do I particularly care? Kylan, you're 80 years old. I gotta be honest, that's fine, but I don't have much faith that 80 years old is what we need. A severe organ wound. Oof, that's somewhat of a problem. And in fact, you are about to become very, very cold. The good news is, though, I think we should have a higher level of airtightedness now. Now that we've got that up and running. You need to be moved. You need to be moved. Here's what we can do. I was going to say, we can go into control mode, which is quite handy, but only if they have a high level of AI alignment. And so currently, Jeremy over here is not sophisticated enough to understand that I need to control him. He's got mild hypothermia. It's now moderate hypothermia. It's about to become severe hypothermia. Don't love that, to be honest. Get to the heater, buddy. Get to the heater. Mild hypoxia, mild cold wound, severe organ wounds. Get into a bed, buddy, please. Honestly. Okay, he's sleeping now. We'll see if that makes a difference. His body is injured. There's a lot of bleeding going on. But honestly, what would you expect? We'll just see how that ends up playing out. Anyway, what other quests do I have? Make the stasis area survivable. It's really not survivable. Build 3 mini oxygen pumps. Do I have that? Mini... I think I do, actually. Yeah, mini oxygen pumps. Perfect for individual quarters or smaller areas. What about a full oxygen pump? What about a full oxygen pump? Target level is 21%. I don't think I have a full oxygen pump. Let's see if there's one. Let's see if there's one here. Oxygen production. That's the mini oxygen pump. improved oxygen production gives the full one. We need tech datoids and we need photo datoids, and we do not have the current number. Well, you know what? We can always make a start. We can make a start with the mini oxygen pumps. We'll put 2 up here, 1 there, and 2 more over here. And we should be able to connect them all up relatively easily, I think. Hopefully that will at least start the process. We need to research heating, or we need to get more heaters, in fact, because the temperature is so unbelievably cold. I think it's probably a good idea to nab electronics here. It's going to cost us 7 basic datoids, so nothing crazy. It's going to unlock the transistor, which is going to be really important to build in the crafting station. We can also now build tech datoids in the basic data harvester, which I think I am going to get set up. I mean, if we grab ourselves another one of these, yeah, we'll get that set up. We'll also get the crafting station to make new order, silicon wafers, excellent. That's good. Wanted amount, let's say 20. That's fine. What do we need? We need silicon wafers and copper wires. Well, it's a good thing that we can now also make silicon wafers. We've got 50 of them, but we'll say produce another 50 of them. That's fine too. How's Jeremy doing over here? His AI alignment is going up, which is good. That's fine. We're okay with that. We're okay with that. So yeah, these mini oxygen pumps can be connected up now. Let's get that in place, and we're gonna hopefully stick some water into here, which is grand. We'll get that refilled. We'll start the process of oxygenizing the room. We'll do the exact same up here. Excellent. Build and connect 3 mini oxygen pumps, and now we need mini heaters. Let's do mini heaters as well maybe in a slightly different configuration. Maybe 1-1-1. Yeah, that'll be fine. And there's our 3rd heater. Very nice indeed. What do we need to do now? Warm up the area with the stasis array, oxygenate the area with the stasis array. Yeah. We'll do both of those things. It's going to take quite a long time. I mean, we can have a little look at the oxygen. I mean, actually, that's not too bad. Oxygen level's already at 20%. It's at 20% in here. We could allow the vent to open up. What about heat-wise? How are we doing heat-wise? Man, it's going to take a long time to get things heated up. But as you know, oxygen starts to filter through, it should become a little bit easier. That's the dream anyway. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's continue making the ship flight ready. That's a pretty important thing for us to do. What do? We need to connect the bridge up. Let's do that nice and easily. Excellent. What do we need to do now? Build and connect a thruster. Now, do we actually have any thrusters? Doesn't look like we've got any thrusters on our Telelight. We do actually have. We do have a thruster here. I think just 1 thruster is going to be required. That might be wrong, but I think it's just 1. If I go into thruster here, propulsion, that's what we need. It is unlocked, so we do have the ability to build them. Let's see if we can try and get the thruster connected up. Right, so I'm just connecting up this area over here to the sort of main area, installing a door. That should allow us to have one sort of, uh-oh. Oh no, there was an incident whilst cleaning the toilet. What happened? Okay, great. Happy days then, I guess. Doesn't particularly matter. Oh, yeah, let's get this all connected up here, because I want to make sure that we are making tech datoids. Let's go new order, tech datoids, produce. We need transistors and copper wire, but I think we should have both of them coming through, which is good. We also have this shuttle over here. What do I need in order to repair this shuttle? I mean, I can just set it to be repaired, but we could actually set it to go on a mining expedition. For example, there is a big old ship behind us here, which is quite interesting. I was hoping to at least get the... Oh my... That's the incident. Okay. I see what the incident is. I see what the incident is right here. This is This is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. That's quite funny though. It's quite funny. Right. Are we all good? We're not quite good yet. We still have 2 additional sections of our ship that need to be connected. We need to make sure that all the connections are made before we head off. I'm also going to get that repaired. The thruster being repaired, I don't think is critical, but it would be good to do nonetheless. Okay, and after... God, that's just it's so awful. That is so awful. Anyway, once this is all built, I think we're going to be ready to set sail. The ship is now flight ready. Excellent. Very good. Start an expedition. Use the shuttle to launch an expedition. Yep, we've repaired the shuttle, which is quite nice. We can maybe think about doing that. So, with our shuttle up and running now, we can actually send the... Well, we can send the crew, as in one guy. I've managed to sort of scavenge a spacesuit from the wreck over here. We can now send the guy with a spacesuit, which is great. We can send them with Rex Alpha, Snuggles, and Burn Kurtz. We can send them on a mission to the big old... There we go. The derelict ship, which is definitely something that we can do. We can also just sort of generally approach it if I want to. What's going on here? It's a big sort of ship area. Okay. Yeah, we approached that with our local thrusters, by the way, which is pretty darn cool. Expedition setup. Do I want to do that? I mean, is there anything here that I really want to check out? A radiator, a weapons locker. Sure. Launch the expedition. Launch the expedition. See where that takes us. Yeah, I mean, so a couple of interesting things on this derelict spaceship. The thrusters, perhaps the most interesting, I suppose. But I mean, they're not really that hard to build. It's gears, microchips, some copper wires, some steel plates. So it's not necessarily the end of the world. The shuttle apparently isn't going here. It's going to a copper mining deposit, which is fine. I'm gonna Snuggles is currently mining. I'm probably gonna call him back soon because I don't think I particularly care to be mining copper, although that is a really, really decent way of going about getting resources. Make stasis area survivable. Start an expedition. We have already done that. Open the star map and then click a nearby planet to choose the expedition. Yeah. Let's call you back because you're away dealing with the deposit. Let's call you back and where is it? Call you back and finish that up. I'd also really, really like to look at the star map because the star map is one of the most interesting things with regards to this update. So we got the deposit down here. They went down to the planet. Okay, so we were at the derelict ship. There are some other planets here. This looks fairly simple and normal, right? Well, let me tell you, things are about to get funky. So this is the region, and there are sort of different difficulty areas for the region. So we have the chance of running into some enemies. We at least know that there's copper here, which is fine. Mining difficulty is 32.1. We've explored 1 out of 3 deposits. That's fine. This is the region, and then this is the universe. So this is a huge, huge, huge area to explore. Now, in order to get to different regions of the universe, we're going to need hyper jumps, and we need a hyper jump engine and a hyper jump fuel as well, the heavy fusion cells, which is definitely worth considering, but we can't stay in this sector forever. Perform a short-range hyperjump to explore the current space region. Indeed. We also need to establish smelting. Let's see if we can try and do this. We need to research fusion propulsion. Where is that? Fusion propulsion. Wow, it's actually shockingly easy to get. Let's get this fusion drive built then, I suppose. So I've taken the very questionably sensible decision to build the fusion drive right next to the ship's computer. I think it should be fine. We basically need to build it here in order to make sure that the work area is unobstructed, because we constantly need our robots to recharge the fusion drive with these things over here. This is a fusion cell. We can buy them or we can make them, but we need something called phasium in order to do that. So Let's have a little look. Enter hyperspace. Yes, we are almost ready. We are just charging as we speak. Electricity grid could not supply enough power. We need 50 kilowatts. Let's maybe grab another matter reactor. It's probably a decent idea. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look at the star map, and we'll see if we can try and enter hyperspace. A derelict ship will be abandoned. I'm very okay with that. Let's confirm. Preparing for hyperjump. Let's freaking go. We are now officially in hyperspace. Oh, look at that. Very, very cool indeed. So, once we are in hyperspace, it is entirely up to us where we want to jump to. Do I want to jump to Robert Pepin or Milan Stefanik? Okay, there was an explosion. Let's, exit hyperspace and have a look at what exploded. Where was the explosion? Explosion over here. Oh, that was my shuttle. I don't know what happened to my shuttle. Perhaps because it needs to be in an air-filled room? Okay, well, that's, frankly, a problem for another potato. Yeah, cool. We went into hyperspace. I love this. I love the scale. I love the scale of it. I love the fact that we can sort of jump to and from. We've obviously used the perfusion cell to get here. That's totally fine, because it allowed me to showcase... Oh, no. Cancel, do not prepare to go to hyperspace, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, it obviously allowed me to showcase exactly what this is all about. Yeah, holy cow. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. Stardeus. I'm going to wrap things up right about now. Thank you ever so much to Paradox for sponsoring this video. You can check out the game linked down in the description below. I feel like I have barely scratched the surface on what it is capable to do in this game. Obviously, the ship is still a complete tip, but that's fine, because I feel like we've had a nice little look at exactly what's going on. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Orbital Potato. I'll catch you next time. Bye.